Hey guys, Mrs. Fennell here. Thank you for checking out my video. Alright, I'm going to sound like a little bit of a Cricut fangirl with this, but I have never had any of the previous versions of Cricut, but probably maybe about 7 or 8 months ago now, I got a Cricut Maker 3 and it has completely changed my crafting life. Like I couldn't recommend one enough. I absolutely love it. And I love it for things that I never even thought I was going to love it for. Like I originally got it to help me cut out fabrics, to make little appliques, or to cut out quilting squares, things like that. Cutting out cat toys as an example, intricate patterns. I can put the fabric on a mat and the Cricut will cut it out so easily, where cutting, little fish shape and little star shapes was a lot harder by hand. But anyway, I never even thought much about the capabilities of using paper with the Cricut, which I guess is honestly one of the main aspects of using the Cricut. I know a lot of people use the vinyl, but really it has such fabulous capabilities in paper. So if you have a Cricut, if you're thinking about getting a Cricut, maybe this idea will be fun for you, or kind of open up your idea of what you can do with your Cricut, because it is such a totally awesome machine. Okay, so this project involves cards. Are you guys card savers? I have been saving cards for about 1 million years, and I have them in boxes. This one was on a shelf. I found it the other day, and I thought, I have been telling myself for 1 million years I'm going to do something with all the cards, and mostly what I've wanted to do is to frame them and hang them around the house, because usually I just love, the front of cards are so charming so often. And this was, isn't this just a cute little card? Why wouldn't I want to hang this up? So, and then also I don't have to really get rid of the sentiment. I had a nice little sentiment. My husband got me this a couple years ago. So I kind of taped it together a little bit. And of course, what I first originally did was start looking around for a wooden frame. I was like, I'm never going to find a wooden frame that fits this, just a frame around my house. So that's when I immediately thought, oh, wait a minute, how about the Cricut? Okay. So the Cricut to make a frame, I use the Cricut for a lot of sort of building up projects where I take paper and glue them together to kind of make little structures. Like, okay, here's an example. Like I was able to make this little ukulele by cutting it out on my Cricut, multiple layers. I did like a layer of craft paper, craft board, I guess it's called, and maybe it's just a couple layers of craft board with some colored paper on the top, some patterned paper. But you see, even with the heart or the letters, you can take your Cricut and print multiple layers of the same shape, glue them together, and then you kind of get that dimension. So I thought, if I can get dimension with shapes that I glue to things, how about making a frame? So my first attempt at making a frame it was too small. You can kind of see how it was just it didn't make the card really stand out enough. So I cut a couple of more squares, frame pieces. So the first two pieces, this is all actually cut from Cricut craft board. So the first two pieces I glued together, saw they were too small, cut two bigger pieces that I liked better, and figured I could still use these smaller pieces as kind of the structure. So it's pretty firm. I mean, you of course could bend it if you wanted to, but it's going to be hanging on my wall, so how sturdy does it really need to be? So my plan for this whole thing is to adhere this little card to this little frame that I've made, and then I found a pattern or a colored paper that I liked. It has a pattern to it, if you can see, and then I thought that offset the pretty little flowers in the card nicely, and I thought that would just look adorable hanging on the wall somewhere. I'll obviously I'll straighten it all up, make it nice, and then I thought I could finish the back like you would a regular picture frame with a little bit of brown paper. And then I had a little piece of little red floss, I guess, and a pretty little bead, and my idea is that I'm going to, once it's all finished, glue this with some hot glue to the back, and that can be my little hanger. So how will this all work? I guess we're gonna see. So the first thing I have to do, I'm going to make sure my camera is still recording because it loves to stop. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is, I guess, line this up. So I decided I was going to probably use a little washi tape and make it work. Oops, wrong direction. So I want to, I don't want to cover the little feet, and I don't want to cover the words. And I also want to have some of that green along the edge. So there's three things I'm trying to do all at once. I did look at it quite a bit earlier and realized I can just line it right up along this little edge here with the dots. So if you guys have lots of cards and you like the idea of kind of hanging them around your house, sometimes they have such fabulous little sayings, and when you look at them you instantly remember, you know, the occasion that you got the card. For instance, like I remember, you know, my husband gave me this for Mother's Day a couple years ago. So hanging them up around the house kind of helps you remember that special day even more, because why have them all tucked away hiding when you know, somebody made this art. Of course you can make homemade cards. You can make homemade cards, but purchased cards, or even homemade cards, of course, even more reason. I do have some cards and some pretty paper that my daughter-in-law made, and I have that hanging up, and I probably, that's a little bit crooked. Let me see here. Try again, lady. I think now I've gotten this down too far. But you know, I'm a little bit of a nutcase. If I don't do it right, I'll be unhappy the rest of my life. So do I have the feet and the, oopsie. And the sound in the background is the dog throwing her peanut butter Kong around. That was my method of keeping her behaved while I do a video. Okay, so I'm gonna hope that I did that correctly. All right. Now I guess I realize I need to tape it through here. So I guess I could use some paper tape. Just a moment. Okay, for some reason I hadn't even thought about how I was going to tape it to the back. These washi tapes aren't all the greatest, but maybe that is how I will try to adhere it to the frame here. And it doesn't really have to be, it just has to hold it down. It doesn't have to be perfectly beautiful from behind, because it's going to be covered with paper. And you know, maybe if I probably should have double checked to make sure it was all straight, but you know. All right, now I am going to hope that this did not stick in any way. That looks pretty adorable. Okay. All right, that looks awesome. And then I guess the next thing I have to do is put this on. Now, of course, that's going to be a little exact. If I do paper tape, I'm going to have to really get it on there carefully, but it would be kind of in some ways the easiest. But then again, glue, well, I think I'm going to try. Hopefully I have enough tape here. I really love this tape, but also, you know, it's kind of unforgiving. But the worst thing that would happen is I would have to cut out another frame if it rips or something, you know. Oh, the tape is actually coming out wonderfully. Sometimes it likes to give me misery. Okay, so I want to make sure I have the right part lined up because I don't know if they were exactly level. Okay, I saw somebody point out that start from the top of your frame, and I actually have to take my glasses off to do up close things. Maybe my head is bumping in. I do apologize. Because darn, once you stick down the sticky tape, it is it's a committed fellow. All right, how's that look? Let me see if it looks nice before I smash it down. Looks great. I mean, oh my god, I love it. I love it. Look how cute, guys. I was able to make like a little framed picture now. I absolutely love it. Okay, so now the next task will be to put this on the back. I thought this would be kind of a fun little touch, you know, to let's see, maybe I will take a little bit more tape just along this little bit here. Even though I don't know if it needs it. I guess it's all glued down. Okay, now how will I adhere this guy? Do I want to do more tape? It almost looks like I could possibly cut a little bit off the edge here. Alright, can I do this straight? Oh, I don't like little messed up edges, but maybe we can skim a little bit off the bottom. Oops, you got a little crooked there. The moment I thought, wow, you're doing great, then that's when I went crooked. Now let me do a double checky. See, line it up on the edge there. I don't want it to overhang. Yeah. What's it look like from this direction? Just looks like I need to shave another bit off this whole side here. Okay. I love these little Cricut scissors. I have 2 pair, one at each crafting station, and I love them. So far I've been really happy with every Cricut product I think. I don't think there's anything I have been disappointed in really. Maybe disappointed in the prices sometimes, but the products themselves I have been just really, really happy with. I mean, because it's a scary purchase when you buy the maker, of course. It's pretty expensive. I partially got it for business as well, though, because I really thought it could help me. And in many ways, it has helped me with my business. I can make packages now. Guys, if you have a small business and you make anything from lip balms to necklaces, you can make your own custom packaging with your own logo and everything. You print your logo on the paper, you fold it into a little box or package, and ta-da. I mean, I have found it to be really fun and helpful because sometimes that's the difference between, you know, looking professional or not with your business is having professional packaging. Okay, so I think I might try more tape. More of this. Oh, you know this tape is not going to stick to this waxy stuff. Okay, well that was a bad idea. Alrighty. Well, maybe I will try this glue. It's not the worst glue I've ever had. Is it gonna come out? I got this on Amazon. It was pretty decent price. It's not my favorite glue. It's a little runny, but it does work for some stuff. It's better than I thought it was at first because it was very runny. I thought, but I like it. I've come to like it. It is not the fancy bear glue, which I want to get that sometime. I do want to get that sometime. So I guess I'm ruining the back of the card a little bit here, but you know, I'm committing this to being I'm going to stand up and see if I can line it up better. And of course I did not line it up at all. But with the glue being wet, you kind of have a little bit of time. Am I in the shot still? Okay. Many sounds in my house. I have a cockatiel about 3 feet away. He's 1.5 million years old, and he's nibbling and chewing. The dog always makes noise. Cats, if you have cats, you know they like to torture. They like to torture. Looks like it's a little, but you know, how secure does it need to be? Adorable. I love it. Okay, so now I have my hot glue gun going. Is that what I want to do? Hot glue, just kind of hot glue little corners. That's what I do a lot of times. I usually use like hemp cord or something like that, and I will put a couple knots and just glue, and then hang it up. That's kind of, I guess, what I did here. As an example, I guess I glued these to the side, and then, you know, you can kind of just hang it like that. But maybe that's what I'll try. It's pretty simple. Sometimes also what I do, this is kind of a fun idea, is I take these little, what are these little things called? They put your jewelry on. Are these the biggest ones? Yeah, I put these, you know, and glue to it. But I think this will be just fine with a hot glue. Okay. I do not have the little rubber fingertip things. My grandson told me the other day, Grandma, you need to get those, Grandma. And I said, you know, I actually do need to get those. Those are fabulous. Oh, I have my hot glue on low. I don't usually do that. But yeah, I severely burned myself once with hot glue. And do I have water ready and little fingertip covers? No. Did I learn my lesson? I guess not. I am pretty careful with it though. But it's a nightmare if it gets on ya. Oh, I'm so bad at the tweezers sometimes. Okay, now we'll try my best to not touch it while it's hot. For some reason, I just want to go right in there and smush that. It does have a little bit of time to move. All right. Give it a moment, lady. All right, and then let's see what our outcome is here. Oh my goodness, oops, I'll break my glass. So pretty. Okay, actually let me pause for just a second. Okay, here it is, hanging up. This is a little staging area I have for things I sell. But I think it looks adorable, guys. What do you think? I hope this gave you some ideas. If you have picture or cards like I do, and you've had that idea that, oh, I'd love to hang them, but finding frames, look, it was so easy. And you could make the frame as thick as you wanted. You could do all kinds of ornate things. You could print out with your Cricut little scrolly little edges and glue them on. And if you paint them, or yep, you could paint it or make it the same color or cut it out of the same color of paper. All my words are coming out wrong. That you could make this look as a Victorian frame. You could stack it all up. You could just, your imagination is your only limit with the Cricut, really. Yeah, so I think this is fun. I'm excited now to hang up about 50 more cards around the house. And I hope you found this idea fun and it will be inspirational to you. And I hope you check back soon because I'm going to have more fun videos. I took some walks through the forest recently, and I dug up some more fun artifacts and bottles. And I think that's about it. All right, I hope everybody is having a wonderful spring, and thank you again for checking out my video. Talk to you soon.